Hi there, I'm Emily Schaller, and you're watching the Roxy F. Boltcast. Before we get started, there's a few things we need to go over. First off, nothing on this podcast should be considered medical advice. Medical advice should only come from your doctor. Views expressed on this podcast are solely opinions of the guest and not necessarily opinions of myself or the Roxy F. Foundation. Enjoy this episode of the Roxy F. Boltcast. This episode of the Roxy F. Boltcast is sponsored by Vertex.
So I could feel like the room change, you know, like when you feel that shift in just someone's aura, you know, and so I listened very quietly, and he was like, if I had to guess, based on all of the symptoms you are currently showing, you would be pretty much near the top of the transplant list. The only reason you would not qualify possibly is because you are very low weight. So within the next week or so, I'm going to need you to eat and do shakes and gain so that you're at a steady 80 pounds minimum. Other than that, I think you will expire within the next month or so. And so I just kind of like,
Bro.
I think for coping purposes, my humor didn't allow that to sink in. So I was just like, that was like my roundabout moment of like, okay, thank you, 5. You know, I wasn't comfortable letting myself believe that. But
Do you think your mom and Jared knew that you were at that point and that sick?
they did not.
They're listening to you say, I'm good, guys.
Right. I mean, they, in retrospect, they knew. But I couldn't tell the difference between Pseudomonas and dying at that point. Like, I adapted so much to not doing well that they were like, how are you feeling? And I was just like, I mean, you know, I'm tired and I need this, but clearly it's just because this infection's really kicking my butt. And I truly did not know I was at death's door. But I think they saw a significant difference in the extent to which I was not bouncing back.
Okay. Yeah.
So what happened next was pretty much the plot of all stories I would tell through musical theater throughout the rest of my life, which was that every phone call from that point on was either someone asking about, do I have a living will? You know, what are you asking about DNRs, asking about everything related to death. And then the alternative call would be like, hey, what color napkins do you want at your wedding? Like, we're thinking like eggshell, off-white. And it was just such a juxtaposition of like emotions. Like, I really had to compartmentalize, like, I will be compliant because I need this to go through, but also I'm a bride, yay! And
wow, so messed up.
Because no one knew about my CF, knew about our journey through my health decline, the only support system I had was my mom and Jared. We did not have a broader community. So the night before I went in for my final lung transplant testing, I actually wrote to the CF Foundation and I said, hey, you don't know me. I've done great stride walks, you know, like here and there throughout my childhood, but otherwise I have avoided you like the plague. But I am a CF patient. I am being evaluated for lung transplant. I'm in Pennsylvania currently, from New Jersey. At random, here is this huge compilation of stories that are personified versions of my trauma that I want you to do something with. And it was a little bit in case something happens to me. But I didn't say that because that's never something I could say out loud or believe. And in that moment, I got a reply, and they were like, hi, Nicole, thank you for getting in touch. Thank you for your transparency. I think you would be a great candidate for the cystic fibrosis grant.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the impact grant, see attached paperwork, is something you should apply for. So literally just because I had nothing else to do at that moment, and I was like waiting for the lung board to tell me, like, you know, if I would live through the next, you know, however many years or not.
Holy moly.
I was just like, okay. So I just start filling out some CF paperwork. I'm like, yeah, this is my idea for like stories and da da da. And so I sent that away and completely forgot about it. And then now it is the morning of our wedding. It is June 1st, 2019. I received an email from the CF Foundation that said, congratulations, you have been awarded $10,000 to produce what you called Fall Risk, the Cystic Fibrosis musical comedy. And then we had the most fantastic, amazing wedding. O2D2 was my flower girl, in addition to an actual child. We took pictures with O2D2 like in a dress that coordinated with mine.
Oh my gosh.
We had an up-themed Disney wedding, so we had like a balloon man. We had 2 mismatched large chairs. Like everything was perfect.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then that night, my mom and my now husband, they drove me to UPenn because I was declining so rapidly that
oh my God.
I think just expending all of that energy at my wedding. I went to the ER that night, and then I was in the ER for 12 days. And on that 13th day, my mom got a call and said it was the lung transplant committee. And they said they had a pair of lungs that were riddled with infection, but would be a good fit for me. And am I willing to take these high-risk lungs? And that I qualified under end-stage disease and no quality of life, rude, and a bunch of other things. And so, of course, I accepted, and I was transplanted that day. And then 13 hours later, I came out with new lungs, and I was bright pink as opposed to the yellowish gray I had been for quite some time. And pretty much the moment I woke up and got the tube removed from my throat, I was in touch with my buddy Adam Brostowitz, and I was like, hey bud, you're a drummer. Do you want to write a musical with me? And then it just took off from there.
Oh, so how was recovery from transplant? How long did you have to stay in? And then was there a moment where you're like, I'm back? Like a few weeks, months after, like that I'm back moment. I want to hear about it.
Okay.
That's me after I eat. If I'm going down, if I eat something, I'm back.
Yep.
But on a much larger scale with you in transplant.
But see, now I'm just picturing Ursula just like floating in the ocean,
Yeah,
and then
I know,
she's just like, she's risen, right? I didn't necessarily have a comeback moment. That's just my whole personality. My whole personality is just like refusing to believe I can't or won't do better, push harder. The only difference was post-transplant, I realized all of the self-care I hadn't done pre-transplant probably led to this, right? Or assisted it. So now, although I am still very like go, 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 I do have to like stop and remind myself like, okay, don't make the same mistake twice. So that was the bigger difference between the two, is like, now I have a heightened awareness of how quickly this could just stop working.
Yep.
Right? Because like all transplant patients also have an expiration date. So it's kind of like you're just starting the story all over again. And you just hope that with each year, kind of like a storybook, right? Like if I were to represent my life through pages in a storybook, you just hope that like there's another page, and then they add another page.
And you talked earlier about doing your treatments for somebody else, or always for somebody else.
Yeah.
Let's get into that, and very cool things happening in your life with a baby.
That's right.
Yes, I'm so excited for you. When did you know you wanted to be a mom? Like, all along, and then now it's a reality because your health is pretty damn stable and you guys are doing great?
That's right. Yeah, I wasn't necessarily the child that knew she was going to be a mom, because I think with CF, not necessarily that I believed CF was the thing stopping me from parenthood.
Sure.
It just wasn't in the realm of reality.
Yeah.
Like that was like the one thing that I knew I had limitations on. Either because I physically couldn't give birth, or because I physically couldn't upkeep the tasks of motherhood, especially knowing my mother, who was like self-sacrificial and like the biggest advocate in the world. I was like, I don't know if I have the spoons to keep myself up and a child. So it just wasn't something that was in my purview. But once I met Jared and we were talking marriage, we were talking, like all of these things did come up, and I wasn't against alternative options. It all went very well, and because things were going well, we started to have more serious talks about kids and family building. So we decided to do all 3 types at once. We decided to get our lady parts and man parts checked for, you know, is this possible from that angle. We took the obnoxiously long foster parent class through DSS, and we started searching for adoption agencies all at the same time. And we figured, throw the spaghetti, see what sticks, what works for us, we don't know. We just know we love kids and we would like to do this. And we are lucky enough to have the stability and financial support to do this. So we actually did get pregnant for a very brief time period. It was my 30th birthday, and I got a positive pregnancy test that morning. It did not last, because like Monica on Friends, they basically said my womb was not a hospitable host, which is, because I'm a Capricorn and I will make sure everything is hospitable. But so we were told that's not your route. So we were like, okay, you know, sad, but also like other options. So that's when we dove more into foster care, because foster to adopt is supposedly like the cheapest and also most, you know, there are so many children in foster care. Like if you can adopt that way, do it. And we've had 12 kids in this home.
12?
Some very short term, some very long term, some siblings, some by themselves, some unrelated but together at the same time. We had it all, ranging from 3 months to 13 years old. We loved every single one of them, but either they required like level 2 care, and it simply wasn't something we were meant to be long term, and so we just cared long enough until they were in the right atmosphere. Or it was someone we intended to adopt, but the court had other plans. So the final step in our journey was being accepted by our adoption agency and making a profile and making ourselves as marketable as possible. And which was very hard to do as a CF advocate, because I'm extremely transparent on social media, but I didn't want to be that transparent on my adoption profile, because I felt like for a CF patient, if you were to just Google it and see like the 1980s version or definition, that's not someone you would choose to be a parent of your child. And it was something that I wanted to build a relationship with a person before I got into detail about what and who I am. And that has fortunately come to fruition. It took a little over a year of waiting. Right before Father's Day, we were chosen by a birth mother to be the adoptive parents of her unborn child. We have since met with her. She lives in our state. She's experienced an extreme amount of trauma, but we are lucky to have an open adoption with her. And so not only will we be adopting her baby boy, but we hope that our family invitation being extended to her You know, I think this past trip, we vacationed with her for 4 days, and
Oh, wow.
we did a hike, and we went out to all different places to eat, and we were hanging out at her place, and we were very transparent about everything, and I was just really thankful for, once again, the opportunity where it felt like God or whoever, whatever
Yeah.
greater power someone believes in, kind of gave us a lucky break on who our birth
Yeah.
mother is. And so, yeah, our baby boy is going to be born on August 22nd. We have already picked out a name. The birth mother picked out the first name, which we support 100%. We picked out the middle name. You know, we cross fingers that all goes through in terms of, like, you know, court and legality and things like that. But in terms of everything else, we're just ready to go.
What would you tell your younger self if there's anything that you would have done or changed that could have set you up for, I don't want to say a better result in the end, because right now, like, you've got an awesome life, an amazing future, and just really cool things. But was there anything that you would tell yourself as a little kid, hey, Nicole, like a talk to yourself?
Yeah.
That
Well,
might have
first of
changed
all,
things,
I
or-
always talk to myself. That's not me.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Like those three-way mirrors where you can just, like, have three
Yeah.
of you and just sing songs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The advice I would give myself is to listen to your body. But that's the advice I would give anyone, because
Yeah.
you know yourself better than anyone else, including doctors. And that's not to say not to trust doctors, because doctors are also the reason I'm alive today.
Yeah.
But I think knowing the difference between you can push yourself through this versus you have gone too far is like a very cloudy and gray area that I think all adults have to live in. And being comfortable in that zone, if you could start that from childhood, I think
Yeah.
finding strength and, you know, like peace and home in that is, that's like a great starter, like, you know, as you go into adulthood.